Hey kids,
Hey, Dad.
what do you want to do today?
We don't know.
Want to go to the movies?
No.
Want to go to the water park?
No.
Want to go play disc golf?
Yeah. Let's go play Discgolf.
Hey everybody, welcome back to RC Disc Golf Podcast. Josh is not with me today, but that's okay because Keith is here from Forbin Dyeworks and Collectibles, everybody. So again, if you haven't yet, like, share, subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers to give away this awesome disc that Keith did for us. That's still here up for grabs.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in. So yeah, we've been playing for a while together lately. Actually, we've had quite a bit of events this year.
Yeah, we've been on a card or two, but scoring-wise, haven't linked up too much.
No, not too much. I play like trash, so it's okay.
I play worse than you, so
it's all right. We're out there having fun.
Indeed.
So recently, you were just at the MVP Open at Maple Hill.
Indeed.
And
What a beautiful place that is.
That's what we're here to talk about.
If you haven't gotten a chance to get out there, it's the mecca of disc golf. Go. Spend a couple of days, play it a few times, play a few different layouts. I started with the Reds, which is the shortest layout. Par there is rated 900. The last time I played with some guys from out there, we played the Red, White, and Blues, which is pretty cool. That shot includes on hole 8, you actually throw from the whites, which is between the black and everything.
Is that the iconic one?
Yeah, that's the one over the water that everybody, where the 8 holes are and everything like that. Those guys,
I would love to be there for that, yeah.
Yeah. Go experience the MVP Open next year. It's the last weekend in September. Even if you only get out there for one day, just go check it out. It's awesome. The energy, it's electric. The players love it. The fans love having the players there, and it's just this big ball that keeps going. If you look at some of the top shots of the FPO from Sunday, it kind of sums up everything. Paige's drive on 16 kind of went off a little bit, and her approach, she missed her line terribly, but somehow it snuck through, and as it's going through, you just hear her yell, "I love you, Maple Hill!" And like all the crowd started cheering and like going nuts, and yeah, that kind of like sums it all up, you know. And so I had the opportunity to do volunteering. So I was part of the staff. You can see the staff here.
Yeah.
Mr. Dodge, who runs the place, he always refers to us as the world's greatest staff.
Okay.
He's an amazing guy too. Just a quick side note about him. I met him my first year when I was working a food stand. I had to use his PayPal account to get paid for everybody for the food. And then the next year, hadn't talked to him, hadn't seen him. Next year, 6 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday, I'm like, "Good morning, Mr. Dodge." And he looks over, he's like, "Hey, Keith, how you doing?" Like, he remembered my name. That just blew me away. And like, he's like way up here now in this. He's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And then after, this year was even more, like, "Hey, Keith, how you doing? I need you to come help me," and the other guys that I work with, Sam, Russ, Rembus, and Cam. Those 4 guys are awesome. They live out in that area, so they've been doing this for a couple of years now before I was. So they've got it down. They know all the right people and everything like that.
That's awesome.
And I got to meet up with them, and the rest is history.
That's awesome. So how did you get started into volunteering for this?
It was Carl from the Thursday night Ellicott Creek League.
Okay.
I can't remember. I think Carl Johnson. He had talked to me about going and volunteering. He's like, I went and did the parking. It's awesome. You just stand there, wave people in, and then once the men tee off, you like just abandon ship and go watch it. I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. So then I ended up looking into it and signed up the next year, and now here I am 3 years later. It's just awesome. So thank you, Carl.
You see, this was your 3rd year doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, you brought in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, so I'll save the disc for kind of the end. I'll go over what I did each day. So Thursday was kind of like boring. I did parking all day, so Although I did kind of see a funny little thing. There were shuttle buses that were coming in dropping players off and stuff. So this shuttle comes in and like Goose Gossage, Aaron Gossage and Paul Macbeth, they get off this shuttle bus, and there's a white SUV that's pulling in behind, and I just see Macbeth walk over and like go in the window, and he's just like, "No, you gotta go down there, and they'll bring you back up here." I'm like, or whatever. So I see the vehicle leave, and then like 2 minutes later comes back. It's Anthony Barella.
Oh, nice.
And he comes pulling, and he's like, "Can I park back here?" So I get in the radio. I'm like, "Anthony Barella's coming through. He's got to get the player parking." And they're like, "All right, send him in." So we just sent him through, and he gets shuttled back. So that was kind of funny. So now I know who Macbeth was kind of scolding a little bit as AB in the car.
So he's just a regular dopey kid, huh?
Yeah, he's awesome. He's
Yeah.
cool as heck. I'll keep the PG
That's
language
right.
here.
I cuss a lot on this show.
So that was Thursday. My Friday, I ended up spotting on hole 11. Now, hole 11 is it's the one after the castle hole, and it's a par 4, so they have to tee off from the top of the hill, and they go down to the landing zone at the end of the little the Christmas trees. Then they have the approach shot over the little stone wall, and it kind of goes in and down a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
So to help everybody out, we would spot the disc. There wasn't any out of bounds, but we would go mark it for them and point them in the right direction just to keep the pace of play going and everything.
That's a great idea, yeah.
So if you watch the live coverage, we're me and Adam, the two of us, are all over the place, like running around, and we're like crazy people. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough water, so we both got like a little heat fatigued by the end. But we stuck it out. We saw every single throw from all of the fields, all of the cards on hole 11.
That's a long day.
And another quick little story about that one. So we're watching the shots come through, and we see Eagle McMahon come up, and he crushed his drive. And then he gets up for a second shot, and he starts looking up in the air.
Oh, of course
and we're
he
like,
does.
"What the hell?" He's like, everybody's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "It's open in there. Like, I can get it in there." So he goes, and you just hear this disc, like, rocket out of his hand. Boom! And it goes up, and then it comes down, and you hear crack, 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 and then nothing. So we're like, all right, they'll go find it. So then you see him, because, we're waiting for the next card to come in, but we look over his shoulder, and it's like, what the hell? They're looking for it. They find it. It's stuck way up, 30 feet up in the tree. So they get Eagle's Lie and everything like that. And so, they go off to the next hole, to the next tee and everything, getting ready to go. And there was a little bit of a gap. But, my buddy's trying to throw rocks and stuff up there to get the disc down. We're on the hole. The next scorekeeper comes up to us and is like, "Hey, did you see the Slack message about Eagle's disc being stuck in the tree?"
No.
And it's like, "Yeah, we saw it go in the tree. We just got it down, actually, and gave it back to him." "Oh, okay, cool." It's like, we're there. We saw the shot. Like, come on, man. You needed to point it out that obvious. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. And Eagle's very appreciative to get his disc back and everything like that, because he needed it. So that was the Friday. And then we went and played Glow Disc Golf on Friday, me and the guys. So that was really cool. They set up Maple Hill After Dark. They put up a hole. It's a modified 18, so you're not playing the full 18 reds or anything like that. But you end up on the final hole is you play 18 red up the hill and over into the island green and everything like that. I don't remember what hole it was, but my buddy Cam scored the Glow Ace. It was something spectacular. To see it go, and it's like, go in, and then it's like it hits the chains, and we didn't know if it actually stuck or not, because there's a bright light in the chains, and then the disc is just kind of sitting there, so we couldn't see, and then we get up there, and it's like, yeah. So we, of course, got the picture of it with everything.
It would be kind of cool, like one of those hockey net red bulbs, like on top of a hockey net when somebody scores. That'd be kind of cool to stick that on top of the basket every time we make it in there. Yeah.
So yeah, that was Friday. Yeah. Oh, now you got me thinking about it,
Yeah, that'd be great.
So it goes in, like the little flag pops up.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right, MVP guys, start working on that.
Let's do it.
All right, so that was Friday. And then Saturday, I was supposed to be, I wanted to be there at like 6 a.m., but we had been up like 5. We only had like 5 hours of sleep for the last 2 nights, and we didn't need to be there that early. And Saturday, my job was to do scorekeeping. So I had the 110 card, and that consisted of Raven Newsom, Kyle Klein, Robert Burridge, and Gavin Rathbun.
Nice.
I was told it was going to be a fun card when they teed off. It seemed like it was going to be that way, and then hole 1 finished out, and we were going to hole 2, and there was a couple of missed shots by guys or 2, and then it seemed like, and then it just all loosened up, and it turned out to be one of the most pleasurable experiences that I've had on a disc golf course.
Yeah.
Not only did I get to see some incredible disc golf, Raven Newsom had one of the hot rounds of the day. He shot 8 under.
Mm-hmm.
He shot 8 under, missing 3 putts inside of 20 feet, but he also was 3 for 3 from circle 2.
Wow.
So he kind of made up for it. He could have been 11, but he's happy with the 8. I'm happy to be able to score him the 8 and everything like that. There's a couple of ace runs on 14, him and Gavin. Just kind of teed him up, and like they were lawn darts right at the base of the at the base of the basket. So those are really cool. But yeah, that card was a lot of fun. They were kind of bantering and talking back and forth with each other, and including me in the conversation, which is awesome.
Yes,
the
nice.
rules of scorekeeper is you don't talk unless you're talked to, kind of thing. Is being a good kid. And but yeah, right from the get go, it was like just including me right with everything. So that made it. I've got, I'm their number 1 fan now, all 4 of them. They're my favorite disc golfer right now.
Oh, so they don't have to go through and keep their own scores, or they can if they want to?
They do, but I was keeping score for the fans for, like, when you guys were going on to the PDGA Live to see what the scores was, that was me recording their shots.
Nice.
I'm the one that would say what's in the fairway or off the fairway or out of bounds, that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, very cool.
The first year that I did it was was 22, and I did the card for Freeman, Dickerson, Jakob Semerud, and Cole Radalin. It was a really intense card. Like, they didn't really... It was a Friday round, but they didn't really talk a lot. Very quiet, amongst them.
Yeah.
So it made it, like, extra pressure on me, and, like, I almost didn't want to do scorekeeping again after that, but then I came back this year and had such, like, I'm ready to go. This is awesome. Had a good chance after the round and before the round, for that matter, too, to talk to Raven Newsom. Folks, if you can donate, do something. Those people down there, his town of Hot Springs, North Carolina, just north of Asheville, like that entire area, it's gone. It's completely wiped out.
Oh, wow.
He was telling me that the insurance companies will pay for the damages and stuff, but they won't reinsure because now it's a flood zone, and they won't want to reinsure people, so they're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
And they're hurting down there. I know a lot of people are in that entire area, but buy a Raven disc. Do something to help them out that way.
So you can go right to...
you can go to MVP's site. Actually, you know what? I'll break it out right now because I have one. He's got his Tour Series glitch that I got him to sign. So you can go probably under the MVP website and find Raven's tab, and you can pick up a disc there. He's got a couple different ones.
And then all the donations of that go...
Well, this is him to help him out, but he's got family that he's got to help out too and stuff like that. So it'll go directly to somebody that lives in that area that's going to need it somehow.
Very cool.
So that card was awesome. So another quick story about this is how the round started off. The head scorekeeper, he had a little thing of cupcakes at the table when players were checking in, and he told all of them, if anybody can get it from the tee pad all the way down to the barn doors where the triple mando is, I'll give you a cupcake. Ooh. And everybody's like, yeah, whatever. He's like, well, no, No, Kevin Jones took him up on it, and he crushed one. Got it very close, and they gave him the cupcake. So he got one. And so Gavin Rathbun is like, dude, I can't throw that far. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then proceeds to rip a drive and comes up 60 feet short of the barn doors. And we're just like, dude, what? So yeah, he absolutely crushes. He was wearing an Eagles dry fit. So after he makes his drive and he's coming off to collect his bag, somebody in the fans is going, Eagles, Eagles. So you got like the Eagles chant, which is pretty cool. Found out an interesting thing about him. Him and his siblings all had to pick a different team to root for, but they were not allowed to pick the Chicago Bears. I'm not sure. I didn't catch that part of the story, but
Okay.
I just thought that was an interesting thing. So he picked the Eagles, and he goes to one Eagles game a year.
They couldn't all be fans of the same team?
Nope, they had to be different teams.
That's interesting.
Gavin, if you're listening, maybe you can help out and elaborate on the story a little bit and fill in the holes. But
If anybody on Pro Tour is listening to this, I would be very, very surprised. And thank you for doing so.
So yes, that was my Saturday. Once the round finished up, it's pretty cool. I get to go into the scoring shack, and I got to make sure that everybody's scorecards matched up. Gavin actually was keeping a paper scorecard, so we had to break out the calculator and make sure he was adding everything up. And then he didn't. We're like, no, you added the 2 wrong here to this, and okay, now it matches everybody else. So that all worked out. So walked out. Found my girlfriend. We went and sat in the bleachers at 18, and then proceeded to watch Paul Macbeth throw in from the drop zone, right in front of us.
Nice.
Baskets from here, maybe about 12, 15 feet away, and right in.
It was a huge throw.
It was a great throw, and he was smiling. He's usually pretty stoic, but he made that way. He's running in. He's like, it was awesome.
I have a screenshot in my phone from that day. I saw a guy sitting in the stands that looks very, very familiar on 18. Do you know who that is?
That's a Buffalo guy. I can't remember his name.
Can't remember his name either. I'm pretty sure he plays around here.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know because they were wearing their Bills stuff, and every day they'd come out and give me go Bills, high five kind of stuff. I'm sorry, I can't remember you guys' names.
That's all right. I'll have to put this one on the screen if anybody can remember his name. Give him a tag or a shout out. We saw you on. What was I watching? Jomez. Saw you on the screen there, buddy.
Yeah, they were following the cards around too, so they had really good access to a lot of good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Caught you on Jomez as well.
Yeah.
So that was
which day?
The last day.
Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah, I was actually going to get into that because Saturday, by the time I was done scoring, we were supposed to go back and play a glow round, but I was just so tired. I'm like, I'm done. I just need to go back and sleep. So we were back by 7:30 and racked out in bed. And then Sunday, I had the pleasure of spotting on hole 17.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little nuts at first because I was there by myself. The ladies, it wasn't that difficult because they just had the clear tee shot straight up the gut. And then they just had the 90-degree turn to the right. Did have to flag a few of them, unfortunately, for popping out of bounds on that left side and they're coming in. But also saw just as many great shots. Saw Missy Gannon make that putt on that 17. Big money Missy making that thing. That was the dagger right there. The guys was a little more difficult because where their tee pad is, it's set back in the woods up in the air. So I would have to go all the way over to the road on their left side of the fairway to wave the flag, and then I'd have to go running almost all the way across the fairway because they're throwing Anheuser shots and are coming out and fading out to the right, and I got to be watching the trees and stuff like that. So that was getting a little hairy-carry, but my girlfriend India, love you, she came down with my lunch and then just was kind of hanging out. So rather than me have to run back and collect all the flags and then go back and stuff like that, she would collect the flags for me while I was taking care of the OB part as they're making their approach shots. and then I would go back and pick up the flags and wave in the next crew, and then kept that process going really nice. So
Very nice.
Having her there was a godsend because she was able to get those flags and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the players would just kind of just drop them where they were. A lot of the players would bring it back over and hand it to us, just because they're cool.
Yeah, right.
And almost every single player would come by and just, thanks for spotting, thanks for helping out, that kind of thing. They're very, very appreciative. Friday when I was doing hole 11, Owen Scoggin came through, and she's like, as she was coming through to get to her shot, she's like, hey, thank you guys for spotting and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then after she made her approach, she's like, spotters, awesome, and like gave us big fist bumps and everything like that. It was like, yeah, Owen's energy is,
I would love to hang out with her.
yeah, just follow a card.
Yeah.
Even talking to her after the round, she hangs out and she's just so infectious with positive.
I think she's a beer drinker too. So it's like
I can neither confirm or deny that.
That's okay. We can turn her if she's not. Let's go get a drink.
So I got to see every shot come through on 17 on Sunday. Got to see the lead card come through. Saw Proctor make that great approach. I wish I had his approach. He threw this putter, and it looked like it came out like a rocket. But when it came by where I was, it was just spinning and floating ever so effortlessly, and then just kind of settled right down and skirted. Like I wish I had that approach, man. It was just. I'm so jealous of all the shots that they make that I wish I could make. It's like, So yeah, those were the days out on the course. I got to see because I had the staff jacket on and everything like that. I got inside the VIP area and had a very clear look at Proctor when he made his shot to 18 to make it. He took the single bogey, I think. No, he took par to win it with 29. He beat Macbeth by 1 stroke.
That was a bogey, right? Because he went.
Oh yeah, he was at 30. He was at 30. Went down to 29.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, he's at the drop zone because he went on a bounce.
Yes.
Yes.
I forget. Sometimes the guys, whatever.
Still, they could somehow.
He won. He won. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And getting to see the confetti cannons, like Ella Hansen was right there with the confetti cannon pop. I forget who the other person was, but at one point, Kelvin Heimberg and Emerson Keith, I don't know what they were up to, but they decided to go hang out in the bleachers. So they were up in the top row of the bleachers for a little bit, just watching stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They were throwing out pies to everybody too. They came out with the little pies you get at Tops or whatever. They came out with boxes of them. They're like, who wants a pie? And they're just like chucking these pies at everybody. It's like, what the hell? So 17 or on Sunday, staff wore jackets. I got some pictures. I'm sure you'll post them.
Yeah, I'll throw them up there.
So Mr. Dodge always wears a blazer.
Mm-hmm.
Every day he's got a different blazer on. And he's always running around. And when they were talking amongst the senior staff, getting everything set up, it was brought up, he's just kind of saying like, oh yeah, the staff should wear, blazers every day. And you're like, you can't do that, it'll be too hot running around and everything like that. It's too much. So he's like, yeah, you're right, whatever. But then they decided to, as a surprise, that Sunday everybody would wear a blazer. So vast majority of the staff wore a blazer. They delayed Mr. Dodge's arrival there until like 7:45, and then he showed up and he saw everybody, and he's an emotional guy, and he can, he expressed that emotion and was very appreciative of everybody. That's why he calls us, the world's greatest staff. We do little things like that. We take care of a lot of stuff that he doesn't have to worry about. And it makes his time awesome because he just gets to, go around and, hey, how you doing? You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because all the little stuff's taken care of by everybody else.
That's awesome.
So we're in the Blazers, and that was our Sunday. Then we went down and had the staff photo and watched James and Missy jump in the pond, and then we got our discs. So we'll get into this big pile of discs sitting here right now.
Yeah.
I'll go through them in order of coolness, I'll say. So they had a bunch of different vendors all set up down there. There's MVP, OTB. I want to get these guys right. DFX had a tent there. ThoughtSpace had a tent. There's another one I didn't get a chance to get to, but they were set up, and the Pro Tour had like a little pro shop set up where you could get discs and stuff like that. Always check them out if you see them. I got a 20th anniversary Buzz last year when they released for $20.
Oh, wow.
$20 brand new there. So that was awesome. And then they had, there were people who do dyed discs that were there. The Disc Golf Dyers Guild, which I'm a part of. They had a booth set up to where you can actually dye your own disc, either bring your own up, or they had a selection there you could pick from, and then they would help you dye it, and then you could pick it up later on in the day. So they were quite busy, and then they were set up right next door to Dylicious Discs. Ivan, that guy's awesome. If you guys need any dye supplies, go check him out. He's got a great selection. I picked up a lot. I'll just say that. I'll say that. And I got a bracelet, so that was pretty cool.
Nice.
So when I was over at DFX, I was talking to those guys, and of course, anything that has Maple Hill on it, I jump all over. So I got a couple of discs here. What are they? This is a Trail, and I should have looked at this before. Oh, a Trail and an Echo. So they have these cool, I don't know, not sure what the camera I should put to here.
Yeah, just hold it right up. There you go.
So they have these cool stamps on them, and I was showing Jimmy earlier. They've got like a little bit of a texture to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and their whole goal behind that is to help develop some kind of a stamp where you get that little bit of an extra grip on the top of the flight plate. So I got both of these. You'll be able to find these up at Spartan Disc very soon. I'm going to be dyeing them. So you'll be able to find those up there. This is a Crave that I ended up picking up that's got this really cool Franken rooster thing on it. I was throwing this earlier today. Very, very straight flyer. Love it. And I didn't have any issues really with the stamp. I thought it was pretty good. Didn't really have any grip issues with it whatsoever, especially this morning when it was really wet.
Oh, yeah.
So these next couple here, just a couple of cool discs. So I picked this one up at ThoughtSpace. This is going to end up getting dyed at some point too. I just like the mushroom double stamp and the misprint and everything like that. So it'll look pretty cool when that's flying around. One thing I didn't mention about my time on the course and even afterwards, all of the players were very approachable. If you saw them and you'd be like, hey, you could go talk to them. A lot of times they'd sign a disc for you. Sometimes it'd be, just in passing, but you could still, get a couple words in with them and everything. It was really cool. So after Paige's round, I think it was on Friday, I saw her walking back over. A lot of the players just camped right there on site. And Paige had her van over there. So there's this trail like little girls going over. So I'm like, oh, she must be selling some discs or whatever. So I went over and I got, this is her drive, Tour Series drive. Picked that one up and got her to sign a different disc that I'll be showing you in just a minute. I got to remember. Oh, yeah, that's over here. Okay.
This one's really cool. I do like the stamp on that drive.
Yeah, I'm going to end up dyeing that one, but I'm going to keep the stamp on there. I'm not sure if that's a double stamp.
Could be.
But I like the way it looks. It looks really cool. The gold with the silver. I might do like a dye mask or something on here just to keep that the way it is and do something on the outside, but I'll figure that one out. So this year, Maple Hill and MVP teamed up with OTB to be one of the major title sponsors. So over at the OTB tent, they had a couple of different discs that had special stamps on them. So this, I won't take too much time. These are both MVP discs. One's an Axiom, and I think this is a Streamline. But they both have different stamps. You have the hole 1 stamp here, and then you have the 8 holes. 8 holes are the greatest fans in disc golf. When I was scoring the card on Saturday for Raven and those guys, from the walk from 7 to 8, once the first person in the card is seen by the guys across, they start that slow clap.
Yeah.
And then it just builds and it builds and it builds. And then they start, by the time the last guy got on the tee box, everybody was just like, they're going nuts. And then, unfortunately, we didn't have any true ace runs. Gavin got the closest. He kind of buzzed the tower about 4 feet to the right and settled in for a pretty easy birdie. But you know when somebody's close or somebody does make one, because you could be on the farthest point away on the course, and when that roar hits, you just know. It's like, yep, somebody ace-8 again.
Yep. Even when they were coming over to get their putts, and you can hear the crowd starting to hype up as they're starting to walk.
Yeah. Ellett Hansen was kind of menacing a little bit too, because she wouldn't hop over onto the green. She was like, and they're like, they didn't know what to do. It was pretty
they're
funny.
all building up and then cheering when they hop over the OB line. That's the one thing that I really would love to do. I want to go to this so badly. I want to take my kids. I want to sit on hole 8 so they can get that whole experience and be like,
sit
see,
on
guys,
hole 8 for a day and then follow a card for a day, because then you get to see everything.
Yeah, be like, isn't this fun? Don't you want to tell your mom you want to do this more often? You know?
There's nothing like going to an Elite Series event, let alone a playoff event.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you go to the mecca of all disc golf in the world, in my opinion, it just makes it that much better.
Nice.
That much more special. I've played the course, a few times. I've walked the course a bunch of times with the pros. There were acorns falling in the distance, like all around it. It was just so magical that being at that place. It was awesome. I just want to go back there and live there,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind moving down there and be closer to it.
And then of course, you had the diver. The diver is in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Just to give you an idea of how many discs get lost in that place, I don't know how often he goes in, but over the course of 3.5 days, he pulled 3,500 discs out of the different ponds.
Wow.
3,500. Think about how many players go through there and how many get lost.
Yeah.
That's not so. But getting back to the cooler discs that are actually here in our hands and not in the water. India wanted to get, I'm going to pronounce her last name so bad, Leah Siamagini, I believe it is.
I don't know.
She's an FPO player, but she wanted to get the autograph, and she plays for OTB, throws for OTB, so got an OTB disc, and then she went and got Leah to sign it, and then we got Paige to sign it, and then she decided, I'm going to make this like an FPO disc. So people I can see, Heidi Line, Haley King, Kat Murch, that's Leah, Paige Pierce, Jennifer Smiley, Missy Gannon, Raven Klein. There's a couple other ones I can't quite make out, but so she got this disc here. So she's got this really cool FPO themed signed OTB disc. So it was actually kind of cool. She's like running around. She's like, I need to get her. Go running over there. It was awesome. So this next one I'm going to show. This is another autograph disc. I didn't get this at Maple Hill, but it is a Maple Hill disc. So this is a time lapse that has the 20th anniversary Maple Hill stamp on it. And what you can see is it has all of the different winners, both the men and women, all the way around. And so my goal is to try to get all of the signatures on there. I was able to get Macbeth and Big Germ at the Northeast Disc Golf Expo at the end of January, held out in Massachusetts. Go to that. That is also really awesome. Mm-hmm. I could talk to you about that one too for quite a while. But so I got those two there, and then got a bunch more. I got Paige Pierce, Natalie Ryan, Haley King. I got James Conrad. I got Nico LaCastro. I already got Macbeth. It's Simon. Oh, I got Matty O to sign it.
Nice.
So I got a few more to go. Some of them I'm going to have to dig deep to try to find, how I can get this disc to people. I did talk to Mr. Dodge about it, and I'm like, yeah, after this is over with, he's like, yeah, I can help you with it afterwards. I'm like, yeah, we're not going to do it right now, man. Get Valerie Jenkins on the phone. We need you here right now to sign a disc. Because I'm infatuated with the MVP line, they had different players that were there. I already showed you the Raven Newsom disc. A lot of you guys might know who Landon Brooks is. Landon Brooks is the player that signed by MVP who beat Simon at the Glitch World Champions last year. He just kind of crushed it all over the place. So this is his disc. It is what I have here. This is a wave. So I have a Landon Brooks signed wave, and it's got a really cool stamp of a little robot guy doing some surfing on he's surfing on a pool on the back of like a rock cat or something like that. But it looks cool.
It's insane.
It looks really cool.
Yeah. That's an awesome one. I like this one too.
So, cool story about this one. This is an Envy. It's a glow Envy. And the Eclipse, second version Eclipse or generation, it glows so bright that you can use it as a lantern as you're going along in the dark. I mean, it just really, really pops. So they have an FPO player by the name of Jen Smiley, and she was selling a couple different discs, and I picked up her Tour Series Envy. But the cool thing is, this is her stamp. She designed this on her own. So this is her Tour Series disc, and with her Tour Series stamp, and I got her to sign it, and It is in my bag.
That's a very, very cool stamp. Gives me some ideas too.
So this one here is kind of a weird story behind it. Being staff on Sunday, we were trying to get everybody out of there. Those of us who were staying at the hotel, the Pro Tour guys had to get packed up as much as possible so they can get out of there by like 7:45. That was the goal, to get them out and get to their hotel or whatever. Mm-hmm. So we were just kind of jumping all over the place, and I walked up and found my buddies who were just finishing up, loading up the one trailer, and the guy is like, "Hey, thanks so much. Here, have a disc. Have a couple discs." I'm like, I just showed up here. Like, you showed up here. So this is a DGA, like kind of a jawbreaker plastic in a sense, who is signed by Matt. Thank you very much, Matt. He's the DGPT guy, who is operations guy who gave him out. But it's got a weird feel to it. It's got that jawbreaker. I didn't throw it in the tournament today. I did throw it after we were done, just kind of goofing around. Mm-hmm. It took off really nice and straight, and then just had a real nice, gentle right fade to it. So I'm going to have to experiment with that one a lot, because that could fill in a missing slot in my bag.
What kind of disc is it, though?
I wish I could remember.
It just says DGA on it, so I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I'll have to do a little bit of digging to find out what kind of disc it is, but it flew good and popped out of the hand and went a direction. I'm like, I didn't know it was going to go there. All right, so this last stack of discs, these are the cool ones. So when you're a volunteer, you get a disc and a T-shirt for every day that you're there. So the first day we got our T-shirts, and then the disc that we got to choose was the MVP stamped. This is the Watt. Now, all four of these discs that I'm going to show you are the ones that are available to purchase right now at the local shops that have all these stamps on them. Mm-hmm. We got them there free as part of our players pack. So we got the Watt. I think this is like a Neutron plastic. It feels really good. This one here is a Glow Tempo. So this one's pretty cool. It's got a little chickadee kind of stamp on there.
I think that's a swallow or something.
Whatever. It's got a bird. It's a bird.
Chickadee.
So this one here is... this is the Rhythm. So this has got the big crab stamp on there.
Yeah, that's a cool one too. I like that stamp.
Yeah. And then the last one, this is the really cool one. So The last one is the Streamline Parachute, which is the one-piece version of the glitch. They've got this beautiful, like, prism, proton, plastic kind of stuff. It's like see-through almost.
It looks like glass.
It's purple.
insane.
It's amazing. But the cool thing is that we get it with one of the winner's signatures on there. So because James Proctor had just won and was hanging out doing autographs, I grabbed one with Missy Gannon's signature, and then I got James Proctor to sign it. So there's Missy, there's James.
Yeah.
So that's the championship disc right there.
That thing is
that's
insane.
gonna end up going on the wall.
It'll
go right next to the glitch that I got last year that's signed by Haley King and Matt Oram.
Even if I had this disc with no signatures on it, I don't think I can bring myself to throw it because it's gone.
Yeah,
I'm not going to see this thing even fly.
Even the orange ones or the red ones, the pink ones, it's
so cool.
It's so faint and glass-like. Like, yeah, you have to keep eyes on it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to keep eyes on it up on my wall.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
So in addition to these discs here, MVP had different stamp stuff with timed release, limited release, whatever. So this first one here is a time lapse with the Leicester stamp on it. So this is just I think you had one box of these, and you were allowed to get one of each. So I got the time lapse here.
Yeah, so why do you have like 6 of them?
Yeah. And then this, I believe, is this is the Panic. And this Panic is actually going to be donated and will be part of whatever Mr. Holdkey and Mr. Quinn decide to do next weekend at the Winter's Coming tournament, whether it be a CTP or a raffle prize to give it out afterwards.
Yes.
Additionally, I'll be donating a trail, a dyed trail. So there'll be 2 discs out there. But this one here, this one is a limited stamp, limited edition.
You said that's next weekend, right?
Yes.
Winter is coming? Yeah.
Yes,
I will not be doing that.
Next Saturday.
Yes, I'm going to be enjoying life down at my cabin for the weekend.
There you
Much
go.
needed time away into wilderness. We're going to go hit up Pumpkinville, and I think it's Ellicottville's Oktoberfest is that weekend
nice.
too. So
That's a
we're
good
gonna
time.
it's going to be a great time.
Good time. Sounds like you're almost to the point where Kyle Klein...
Retiring? Yes.
Yeah. So Kyle Klein, as we're getting ready to tee off on hole 9, they're talking about off season and living in Florida and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at his bag and it kind of kicks it. And he's like, "You know what I'm gonna do with this thing? Kicks it. Put it in the closet for 2 months and forget it exists." And he's like, then he starts like doing the ball golf, the stick golf thing. He's like, "Time to get out."
Yeah, that's funny.
So it's kind of funny, we think about playing every day, and then these guys, because they do it for a living, it's like, I'm sick of it.
That's hilarious.
I want nothing to do with it.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, that was a good Chucky, funny haha. So this next one here, I'm not sure if you can still get them places, but this was a St. Jude's fundraiser disc. We got the last 2 of them that they had at the OTB stand. I think they had maybe a few more inside at the MVP Pro, or the Maple Hill Pro Shop, but all the proceeds go to St. Jude's for this one. So this is really cool, and it's the Axiom Shift.
Very cool.
Haven't had a chance to throw it yet. Haven't decided whether I'm going to or not. This might be one to hang on to in the wall. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I have that problem anytime I get just a disc for an event that we're doing. I'm like, these are cool looking. They're cool stamps. I don't know if I should start throwing them around either, but I do like them as on the wall. It's a good decoration for this at least. Which a lot of these ones will be.
Yeah, there's a few of them that'll look good. These next 3 especially. So, MVP each day did a limited edition release. For Thursday, they did a Pixel, and I believe there were 69 of them that were sold.
Mm-hmm.
So, the next day, I was able to pull some strings, and I got my hands, and I believe this is the Tempo. So this is one of, I think, 40, 45. I didn't catch how many were released of this one, but this is a Total Eclipse Tempo with the Leicester stamp on it, limited release. I think you'll find these going on eBay for $70, $80.
That's crazy.
Yeah. This next one is even more rare. There's only one. This is one of 29. They actually had to hand out tickets for this one in the line to make sure that they had just enough.
That's awesome.
So this is the soft neutron detour, and this really cool. It's orange, and then in the back, it's got the really cool like green splatter kind of stuff. This thing feels so good in the hand. Like I want to throw this so bad, but I would lose it the first throw, and then I would never see it again because it's limited. So that's why it's going to end up on my wall. And then the last one we got. I don't know how many were there. There was not a lot. I think there's maybe 50 of them, and India was waiting in line for me because I had the spot on 11 or 17 rather. So she waited in line. She got in line at 10:45, and she was already like 25, 30 people deep.
Wow.
So each day the crowds were bigger and the lines got longer sooner. But she was able to pick me up. This is one of the trails, and she got it signed by Raven Newsom, Gannon Burr, and James Proctor. So it's like a Prism Proton a trail.
It's very cool.
That'll end up on the wall too. So, and of course, I got like an equal number of discs that I brought home to dye. So I have lots of stuff to dye.
Are most of these given to you, or did you have to purchase most of these?
Most of these, all of them, with the exception of that one from there, and then the 4 Players Pack discs were given. Everything else was purchased.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Make sure you have a lot of room on your credit card if you go to a pro event. You will buy discs you don't want.
I would hope you would want them if you're buying them, but just
I buy a lot of these spur of the moment. And it's like, why did I buy all this stuff? I'm like, they are pretty cool though.
This is very cool. I am obsessed with this stamp. I really am. And my wife does a lot of graphic design stuff, and this is giving me some ideas.
Do you have a UV light? Get that thing glowing. See how it looks glowing.
I do not have a UV light.
I didn't bring one either.
I have one in my toolbox, and it is not charged. Use it for finding AC leaks. But no, I do not have one here. Yeah, that would have looked really cool. My putter is a glow plastic. It's sitting in the car right now. I wonder if that's lighting up my back seat after playing all day today.
Could be.
It could be.
So that's the MVP experience. That
is crazy.
That's being on the course, off the course. It was pretty cool on Friday before we went and played our glow round. We were upstairs at the Sap House. The Sap House is where they have the pro shop. So the pro shop, and then upstairs they got like a pool table and like bubble hockey. They had a couple guys up there with a Switch. They were playing Switch on a TV. They got like a big shuffleboard thing. Skee ball. They got skee ball. It's awesome.
That is really cool, yeah.
Quite a few of the players were up there. So we were like hanging out, jamming with them for a little bit. And then we took off and did our glow round. And that was a lot of fun.
Was there like food and stuff all there too? Like any food trucks or anything like that?
They didn't have food trucks, but they did have like a little food village. So there was a guy that had barbecue. There was a craft brewery that was, pouring drafts right there for you. They had like a vegetarian kind of thing with like hot dogs and pizza and stuff like that attached to it.
Yeah, vegetarian hot dogs.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I think it's just called a cucumber.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Then there was the coffee place called Tin Cup. That was kind of funny.
Oh, I know. Tin Cup, is that whiskey or vodka? There's a Tin Cup. I think it's whiskey.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of that.
It's pretty good. It gives you a tin cup shot glass right on top of the glass.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I know Stillhouse.
I want to say it's whiskey. I don't remember. I think it is, though.
Stillhouse that comes in the can. It's a metal can. It looks like almost denatured alcohol.
Oh, okay.
So drink it right out of there.
Nice.
Good.
I'm thirsty. Well, this is awesome, dude. I appreciate you coming in and telling us all about it. It's really cool that you do this.
Yeah, I'm highly encouraged. Start looking after the first of the year. You can go right to the Maple Hill website, and we'll have something up there, for volunteering. Once you get in, you get the first dibs, right of first refusal, I guess. You're in until you don't want to be.
Okay.
But yeah, lots of fun. In addition to like the little vendor village with the food thing, all along the whole one up near the tee pads and everything, they had more dyers like Dying to Disc Guy and Daddy Mac Dye. He was there.
Okay.
Cosmic Disc Golf was there. Circle One, who did some apparel, they were there. Lots of different vendors set up, lots of different stuff, lots of plastic, but clothing, the whole 9 yards. I'll have to come back on and just talk about the different dyeing stuff at some point too.
Yeah, I would love you to come back on too. Maybe we can do a little dyeing tutorial.
I was thinking about that on the way over, so we can talk offline about that. Sure.
We could definitely do something like that. That'd be cool. Well, Keith, thank you for coming in and talking to me about all this. This is really, really cool. I enjoyed the play-by-play experience, even though I wasn't there with you. Maybe someday I will get out there. That's on the bucket list for sure. Like I said, I would love to take my kids there.
Definitely encourage it. It's a 6-hour drive.
No, forget about it then. Just joking.
It's not that bad once you start doing it. I think I've done it so many times. It's like, whatever. I'm driving to Amherst almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gorgeous country out there, especially this time of the year because the leaves are a little bit ahead of where we're at, so that works out pretty good.
Yeah.
And the other great thing too is you can actually hit up 2 courses because if you make a left out of Maple Hill and you drive about a half mile down the road, the pyramids with Marshall Street Disc Golf is right there on the right hand side. They are across from each other, so you can hit up 2 great courses and 2 great pro shops.
I love Marshall Street. I buy a lot of discs from them.
They weigh every disc.
Yes, it's all. They got a picture of it on their website when you buy the disc, and it's like they have a huge selection, and it doesn't take very long to get here.
Nope.
Like 4 days maybe. It's a fantastic place to buy discs, and they're cheap. $15, I think, is like the average cost of a disc from them. So it's a fantastic place to go.
I get all of my discs from Spartan, as many of them as I can.
Mm-hmm.
But when I go to like stuff like this, when you're offered discounts and there's stuff's on sale, you gotta stock up when you can.
You gotta do it. Plus, I like the nice poster and flight chart you get when you purchase a disc too. So that's pretty cool. I've learned a lot of from studying that on what my disc is supposed to do. So that helps out.
I look at those things and I just kind of throw it like, I ain't ever gonna get it to do that. How is it gonna work for me?
It works. Practice. And if it doesn't work, just think that it did, and you'll feel better.
I should have practiced with my discs a little bit more today because some of them I was throwing for the very first time out there, and it showed.
We're not talking about today. Today can just be erased from our memories. Hopefully, I get Josh come on next, and we'll bring that up for.
Yeah, you guys can reminisce
next one.
That monstrosity.
He did great. I wonder.
Classic.
I wonder if he thinks he did great. I don't know. I think he did fantastic. But
I could not recapture the magic that I had during the Aberdeen Glass Open at the beginning of August when I shredded the second round of Emory at a +1.
Yeah.
Could not recapture that. My form is a mess right now.
I've talked about this before. I had a good start to the year, and it just kept going deeper and deeper and deeper into the hole. So the rest of the year. So
I know what I'm working on in the off season. Got to get my form back in order.
Yep, I'm working about hanging up every single disc and tucking the bag away in the closet until next season. So
no, you need to get out the putting league on Wednesdays at Fat Man's.
I work every Wednesday.
Oh, that's true. Okay,
that's my problem.
Fair enough.
The only league I can do is Sunday Fun Day out at Como Park. Maybe I should start doing that because Como is one of my worst courses. I always do terrible there.
Only way to get better is to keep attacking it.
That's what I'm thinking too. So if I can start scoring good at Como, I think I'll start feeling a little bit better about myself. So that's the plan for next
You
season.
can always go play the pitch and putt at the Veterans Park, the 9 holes. And that makes me feel good, too.
I do veterans. I went last time I was there because I stop on my way to work. I pass it every day. So I think the last time I was there, I was 6 under. So it's a pretty good confidence boost. I only
sure.
go there with a mid range and a putter though. I don't bring the whole
Yeah,
bag.
you don't need it. You don't need
No.
everything. You should just take a hex.
I got an ace there this year too.
Oh,
I
congratulations.
aced hole 9.
Still looking for one.
Yeah, with right here, the Texas Ranger ace
Awesome.
disc. So that one I got, and then all the ones I got at Pinewoods, like hole 18, that's no longer there. That one sucks. But
Yeah,
it's
we
okay.
don't talk about Pinewoods.
Yeah, it's okay. I still play
We
it.
don't talk about Pinewoods. No.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching this episode. Thanks for listening. Again, go on and like, subscribe. Again, we're at 80, I think, right now. So we only need a few more subscribers, and we can give away this really cool disc that Keith dyed for us. Any more things you want to check out from him, go right to his, Facebook, Instagram?
I'm on Facebook, and I have an Instagram, but to be truthfully honest, I'm terrible at both of them. I post new discs that I do in groups, usually when I get up to Spartan and drop them off.
All right.
Kevin and Nicole at Spartan, I can never thank you so much. They are absolutely wonderful to me. They're gracious enough to allow me to have, I think I have 60 discs up there right now.
Nice.
Various all over the place as far as manufacturers and different discs. So go check them out. Holidays are coming up. If you guys are looking for something custom, reach out through socials. My card's up there. Shoot me an email or something like that, and I'll be more than happy to get you hooked up on that stuff.
Yep. Give him a follow. Forbin Dyeworks and Collectibles.
And
if nobody wants to subscribe, I'm just going to keep this disc.
I am going to be up at Spartan on Black Friday. I've gotten the okay to do this again, so I will be up there doing more dye demos all day. So I'll be up there from whenever they open, 10 or 11 o'clock, until probably 7 or 8 in the evening.
All right.
So buy a disc, you can get it dyed. Pretty quick turnaround there. Yeah, go check it out.
That's
It'll be
it.
fun. I think the gyro boxes might even be in too by that point, and everybody needs to open those, so that'll be even more funner.
Ooh, more funner.
I love
and
opening
dying
box of discs.
Oh, it's great, isn't it? I got a lot of empties lying around this room right now.
So do I. And I have 9,000 gazillion racks of discs at home too. So.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys out there next week.